And we want to turn to the exodus from California that we have seen more and more people and companies leaving the state over the last couple of weeks. Big names here announcing their moves. Tesla CEO Elon Musk himself saying that he moved to Texas, while Oracle plans to relocate its headquarters to Austin, Texas. So for more on this, we wanted to talk to, and we are going to bring in Mayor Steve Adler of Austin, Texas. And Mayor Adler, great to have you on the program. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. You're attracting big names to your city. Oracle becoming the latest company to make the move to bring its headquarters to Austin, Texas. Tesla, I should say, currently building a factory in your state, in your city, there in Austin. It's becoming more and more popular. How are you courting these big names to Austin, and what's the potential economic impact of this?
Well, the potential economic impact is pretty significant. And I think the folks are coming here because the people that they want to have work for them want to live in this community. We have a highly trained workforce. We have a beautiful city. We have progressive values that are very welcoming and warm and friendly. And we have the University of Texas. It's the state capital. The state is generally business friendly. I think we just have the elements. But bottom line, I think these companies are coming here because the people they want to have work for them want to live in this city.
But don't you also have the brain power there? You mentioned UT being there, but also how far is Round Rock? Because you've got Dell right up the road from you. And how far is Houston from you? I mean, there's a tremendous amount of young brain power for which these companies can be hiring from, right?
There is all over the state, and Austin is in the middle of San Antonio to the south and Houston to the east, and Dallas and Fort Worth to the north. There are 25 colleges and universities in our general area. So it has, as I said, a highly trained workforce. The other thing I think that is real significant is we have a culture here that is a real risk tolerant. So it's the catchphrase in Austin has always been "Keep Austin weird," and that means it's okay to be different here. And that culture, I think, really helps with innovation, and I think that's part of what Austin is.
I'm talking about attracting more and more companies. Google and Apple, they also have been expanding their presence in Austin over the last several years. How are you attracting these companies? I mean, we've covered some of the tax breaks that you have given a name like Tesla in the past, some of those local tax breaks, but what are you doing in order to entice these companies to come to Austin?
Well, it's actually been, in my 6 years as mayor, I think we've only given one or two incentives. Tesla came without any incentives from the city. Oracle got no incentives as well. Again, I think it's the business climate that we have in Texas. It is a trained and motivated workforce. It's a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. This is just a magical place to live, but you're talking to the mayor.
Yeah, well, a lot of people would point out the fact that I don't think there's an income tax in Texas.
That's correct. That's right.
But then the critics who want to say, this is no big deal, when in fact it is a big deal, point out that property taxes might be higher in different counties in Texas, perhaps in your county, because they don't have the income tax. Do you want to respond to those critics?
Well, it's true. When you have a tax structure that has three legs to it, income, sales, and property, you can spread taxes out. Texas does not have an income tax, and that's one of the reasons why we've been successful as part of the business-friendly nature of the state. But it also means that there's a higher reliance on things like property taxes. We're constantly trying to watch that as best we can, as any city does. But property taxes generally would be higher in Texas than in other states.
Mayor, I also want to talk, as we talk about more companies here moving to Texas, it's coming at a time when the pandemic has really taken a toll, not only on your city, on your state, across the U.S. I was reading through Austin's public health department. They put together this risk-based guideline. They're now in stage 4. Stage 5, they're saying, could be days away here. That means that only essential businesses are going to remain open in your city. What are you doing as mayor to curb the spread in Austin? And do you think more restrictions are necessary at this point?
Well, we're going to try to avoid more restrictions as much as we can. We have a community that is, again, pretty disciplined and focused, especially around this holiday. But we do see a spike, probably from the Thanksgiving weekend itself, as many cities are seeing across the country. Austin's numbers right now going up less than every other major city in Texas. So relatively speaking, we're doing well, but we are concerned. We're seeing the same kind of surge that cities are seeing across the country. We're going to try to do as few additional things as we can, but public health is the highest priority. So we're talking to our community right now about what it might look like if we move into that next risk stage 5, and we're going to continue to watch the numbers.
Very quickly, before we let you go, I'm curious, you can say names if you want to. You talking to other companies who might be looking to relocate from California?
I wouldn't say any names, but I would say we're in a very fortunate position right now to be able to be talking to companies.
All right, Mayor Steve Adler from Austin, Texas. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it. We hope to have you back.
Thanks for the invite on. Thank you.